Yo, Shabar from the video. With summer nearly approaching, I guarantee most of you guys likely want to have a six-pack. So here are 4 tips that you should follow in order to get a six-pack this summer. With the 4th tip being the most important, because you, yes you, are likely not even doing it. So in order to see your six-pack visibly, you obviously need to lose belly fat. And how do you lose belly fat, or just fat period? In order to lose fat, you want to enter a calorie deficit. A calorie deficit is where you burn more calories than you consume. There are 2 main ways to enter a calorie deficit. The most common way is just when you decrease the amount of calories you usually eat to maintain a certain weight. So to give a real life example, let's say Bob has a maintenance calorie intake of 2,500 calories. Decreasing his calorie intake to 2,200 calories, that would be a 300 calorie deficit. And then the second way to enter calorie deficit is basically just increasing your activity level. Now I do want to say that it will take a longer time for some people to see their six-pack. So I'm not guaranteeing that you will see your six-pack by the end of the summer. Depending on your starting body fat percentage, it will take you a certain amount of time. So if you have a higher body fat percentage, let's say like 25, it would take you longer to see results than someone that has, let's say, 20% body fat percentage. Now, speaking of being in a calorie deficit, the first thing is you don't want to cut your calories too fast, because if you do, your body is not going to adjust well, and you're likely going to be a lot hungrier, and you're not going to actually be able to maintain that deficit. And if you stay to the end of the video, I'll actually be providing some ways that you can decrease your hunger during this deficit. So when you enter a calorie deficit, you want to decrease your calories slowly. I would recommend you start off with just decreasing your calorie intake by 100 calories, and then after your body has gotten used to the deficit, you can increase the deficit. So what I would recommend as a progression for the calorie deficit is start off with 100 calories for the first week, and then after your body has gotten used to that deficit, increase your deficit in the 200 to 300 calorie range. After you've done that, you can go into the final progression, and that would be when you decrease your calories in the 300 to 400 calorie range. So I would recommend the highest deficit you go into would only be 400 calories. I wouldn't recommend you go any higher than that. And if you want to be able to burn those calories a little bit quicker, do some cardio. Now, the cardio you do doesn't have to be spent on a treadmill for several hours, day after day. You can make your cardio simple and fun. You can go and walk a few steps every day to burn some extra calories, or you could go and play basketball with your friends. But I want you to know that cardio by itself does not burn a lot of calories. You won't burn like hundreds of calories just by doing cardio. You need to be in a deficit, obviously, and implementing cardio will speed up the process of weight loss. And your diet will play a huge role in the amount of calories you burn, or just your weight period. That's why you need to eat healthy foods, which is the 3rd tip. So what foods are considered healthy and what foods are considered unhealthy? Unhealthy foods are mainly any type of processed foods, or especially ultra processed foods. So you want to limit the amount of fast food you eat throughout the diet, or just the cut. Processed foods are usually foods that are in boxes, like cereal. So the healthy foods you want to steer towards more of is whole foods. And a great way to find out if your food that you're eating is processed is by just checking the ingredient label. And if there's hundreds of ingredients, if that's the case for what you're about to eat, then you know that's processed and you should not eat that during your diet. So whole foods are basically foods that are straight from its source. So let's say chicken. Chicken breast is a type of whole food. Now, even though milk is processed, that doesn't mean you should exclude that entirely from your diet. It is a healthy food with a good source of protein and calcium to make your bones stronger. So basically, I guess I am saying that abs are made in the kitchen, because you need to have a healthy diet in order for you to be able to see your six-pack. Let me ask you this: what muscle do you like to train the hardest, or you just train the hardest? For me, it's my legs. I want to have strong legs so I can increase my squat max. So right now, my squat max is 335 pounds. So you want to have the same mindset. You want to train your core with the same intensity, because when you lose all of the fat surrounding your abs, you will have a six-pack that actually like pops out. Because when you train your core, you won't actually, like, that doesn't burn calories, that just builds up the muscle. The same goes for if you were training your biceps. So don't be just doing body weight exercises, and make sure that you actually use heavy enough weight where you can get about like a few reps in and still push yourself close to failure. You want to be able to increase that weight over time, and that's called progressive overload, so you can get stronger and so you can actually have a six-pack. So I just wanted to ask the question, do you train your core? Because I guarantee most of you guys watching this video aren't even training your core. I'm honestly guilty of it. I don't train my core. Like I promised at the beginning of this video, I told you I would give you some steps to decrease your hunger during the cut. And those steps are in this video right here. I'll see you there. Peace.